Kucha takes place in 572 cities around the world. Events exactly like this, and every single month it grows. Each speaker gets 20 slides, each slide on an automatic timer for 20 seconds per slide. At the end it goes, thank you, get off the stage. No Q&A. Keeps it short, keeps it concise, keeps the audience interested.
This is a wonderful young woman who is a jazz student at UCT, and she's basically created her own little movement out of her passion for food. And I'm very much looking forward to Jade de Waal. Please take the stage, Jade.
I'm Jade, and in 2009 was my very first year at university. I was away from home. I didn't like the res food, and I was pretty awkward. I met Irene Kim, and together we started cooking in my res room every night, illegally. The neighbors found out and they were, Jade, teach us how to cook. So, in French class, I met this really cool Chilean guy called Leonardo. Jade, I found this amazing wine for 20 rand. We should do a food and wine pairing. So with this in mind, and also my friends going, teach us how to cook, I decided to invite a few friends over and go, let's have the very first food jam on the 4th of February 2010. I wrote a few simple recipes based on staple ingredients, invited a friend, Lauren Fowler, whose work I really admired, to illustrate the recipes. And together with a few friends, we got together in my kitchen at home, few stations with different recipes. So each station will have a very different recipe, all the ingredients. And I'd invite my friends to break into groups of 2 at a station with a different recipe, cook together, improvise in the recipe if you want, or follow it to the T. Drink a lovely wine paired by Leonardo, have a good time, be merry, all photographed by Irene Kim. So the very first food jam was a friend called Mercedes Rudolph, who subsequently started One.Dog.Chicken Productions with Jade de Waal. Brandon also happens to be right over there. Hello! And I decided, why not collaborate with Mercedes and Jade de Waal to start shooting student cooking shows made available on the web. I invited friends and students over, friends, musicians, over as guests on the cooking shows, and together we had an amazing time. I presented it on YouTube, and then asked local musicians to provide soundtracks for the videos. So in the meantime, Irene's photographs were circulating all over social media, and suddenly more friends were like, "Hey, I want to come and food jam with you." So I said, wow, why not? By the 4th food jam, a friend, Charles Edwards, had written an amazing post on our decoration site. So suddenly, wow, they weren't just friends saying, I want to food jam with you, they were strangers alike. So why not? At the same food jam was a friend called Max Mochale, who happens to be a photographer and whose work I like so much. I said, hey, do you want to collaborate on a few food jams together? One of the food jams was published in the Taste magazine in July in this year. Through Max, I met Young. And if ever there were to be a party in my mouth, Young's dim sum does just that. So for the very first time, I collaborated with Young Zhao. We food jammed with a group of friends. And then suddenly, food jams was a space to explore new food cultures at the same time. A huge surprise hit me when a respected food journalist and a cookbook author called Sonia Cabano, who also happens to be my aunt, asked me to write a cookbook with her. So, the 21st of November of this month, this year, our cookbook called Luscious Vegetarian is being released. After we handed in the manuscript, suddenly this wave of MasterChef South Africa came around. I was like, wow, this is amazing. Mercedes said, why don't you enter? I went, okay, why not? I was lucky enough to be one of the finalists. I also called the quirkiest contestant. Amazing adventures. Met so many amazing people. And on top of that, more people were interested in food jamming. I hosted the food jam for a group of American students to introduce them to South African food. Awesome, got together. At the food jam was a friend called Sizwe Mogale, who I invited as a guest. Sizwe said, Jay, this is a really cool space to do some team building. Wow. So together with Sizwe and Angeline Sue, we started a new company for corporate businesses, team building as Food Jam. Food Jam just get-togethers with friends was still high and groovy. So I decided to invite Cone and Captain Global, friends of mine who are illustrators and animators, to create a really awesome invite. which is going to play over here, but I'm going to impersonate it in any case. He went, da-da-da-da-dum, come and join us at a food jam. It'd be awesome to have you, friends and strangers alike. So got together, had a food jam called the Fortune Food Jam. My 15-year-old sister, Olivia, who happens to be in the audience as well, awesome, saw that food jam was a really cool space for a team building event. So she invited her Clifton Lifeguards team to come and join us for a food jam. So here you saw these muscled, lifeguard instructors being taught by the rookie lifeguards how to chop an onion or cook. Shane Cooper, producer and musician, approached me to do a food jam where we recorded the cooking sound. So together with two other producers, Mr. Sakatumi and Dank, we got together, recorded all the cooking sounds, chopped everything, and after 6 hours, the three of them created a track. So using just the cooking sounds, we invited two other illustrators to create each a visual inspired by the food jam that was used as album covers, and VJs, the story boy and the girl, to create visual installations inspired by the food jam. So the video is being released tomorrow, yay! Filmed by Lesedi, One.Dog.Chicken with Jade de Waal, and then photographed by Sarah Nankin. So it's another way to explore what can we do with it. People were saying, hey, Jade, when are you going to come and food jam at Josie? So I went, yeah, last month. Got together with a Joburg-based illustrator, photographer, and filmmaker to do a food jam in Johannesburg with some amazing people. I was like, wow, this is awesome, such a great space in Braamfontein in my brother's school. A few days later, we were in Durban and food jam with some Durbanites. So Russell Mkhlongwane is right over here, started a supper club called the Fork, Knife and Glass in Durban. For the first time I could see the city through his eyes and go like, wow, this is how you eat, it's amazing. Durbanites over and we food jam. It's awesome. So what's up next? Back in Cape Town, I collaborated with an illustrator called Atang Tikare to create this invite, and on Sunday with some awesome people we got together, food jam, photographed by Henk Hatting, one of the food jams, and I realized I put them all together in the past week or so, and there are about 20 food jams now that we've documented from 2010 till now. What's up next? I don't know what's going to happen. I've been invited to food jam in San Francisco and Lyon and Soweto, and I go like, this is all because of the question. People going, hey, Jade, teach us how to cook. And I go, now it is. People ask me, hey, Jade, I want a food jam with you. So what's up next? I don't know. I'll leave it over to you. Here's the question. Thanks for listening.
Well done.